Hey, I meant to do this video a couple of days ago, but there's one aspect of it that I just can't. I knew the answers because I made a solution. I'll explain it all at the end. At the end. So these are, I think I've got 10 medical aspects of prepping for a SHTF scenario. Right, 10. So the first one, you might want to skip a bit forward because not everyone's into books, but these are important. I do think they're important. Books on anything to do with surviving or prepping. Books. If the internet got wiped out tomorrow, or you refused to have some sort of ID to access the internet anymore, books, and old school books as well, because there's less bullshit in there, less lies. They kind of moved ahead with it as the time's gone by, especially over the last 4 years. But this is full of loads and loads and loads of stuff that can go wrong with you. Symptoms, remedies, the whole lot. It's good and cheap. This massive book, I think this cost me less than £5 off eBay. So, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, DK Books. So, have a look. Cheap but brilliant. If you're limited as to what you've got, I mean, we've all got first aid kits. I know we have. But if you after a time you run out of bandages, or you run out of this, or you run out of that, or you've got to try and make some sort of quick fix, this is a really, really good book. Lots and lots of information in there and illustrations. But it's a really easy to follow book. It's in really, really simple terms for anyone to understand. Again, we need to be trying to revert back to the old ways, because the old ways worked. People were healthier back then. They were. We know that, So anything where you can kind of grow stuff in your own garden or in your own house, or buy stuff in that's got a long shelf life. This is the kind of book you need to be looking for, or books similar to this. These are all off eBay, all of them. Maybe one or two that I've picked up in a charity shop, trying to give to a good cause, especially charity shops like Mind. They do a good job. Yeah. Other ways of trying to. A lot of us have got bad backs. A lot of us. It's so common now. But I mean, this is full of, and they're all women. All women in there. It's a very, very sexist, bigoted, bastard book. No men. But yeah, the principles are all the same, and it does help you to do gentle exercises that helps to build your core muscles up, which will help to support your back, without medication. Fitness as well. Honestly, fitness. I do think there are quite a lot of people out there that think, if I just put loads and loads of weight on and the shit hits the fan, my body will just work off the fats. Well, in theory, that there is some truth in that, but you're not going to be fit. You need to be fit. And I mean that, it's really, really important. Mental and physical fitness is imperative. I'm telling you. And you'll feel better for it. And if you do feel like you want to lose a few pound and you're struggling, there's just 3 simple steps. Eat less, eat better, do more. That's it. It's that simple, no matter what your abilities or lack of. Another book on medicinal herbs and stuff. These books are honestly, they're going to be like gold dust. They really are. I mean, look at that. Look at all the illustrations, and they're all European. It's got similar species in there that you don't want to be going near, like, and similarities and what each plant can do for you, how it can benefit you, any side effects or whatever. But it's all full of good stuff. And this book's a really, really old book, so if you can afford it, get a more up-to-date one, because I think this is, I don't know how old this is, but it's just got pretty much every medication there is going at the time of this book. But this book is well over 15 years old, so, but it was about £3. But it's got all of the medications in there that I've got stockpiled. And talking about stockpiling medication, I'll get into that at the end. PRM medication, right? Look, it's cheap. It's cheap at the moment. I've got stuff to stop you going. I've got stuff to make you go. This isn't PRN, but there is PRM stuff out there that can, but then you're better off doing it naturally. Just get loads of veg down you. Loads of veg. Loads of fibre. Paracetamol. Ibuprofen. Hay fever meds. And aspirin. These are so important. I've worked out now. I don't know about ibuprofen and aspirin, but I've got enough to last me for... enough paracetamol to last me for 6 months if I go at half the dose a day, every day. So what's that? 3 a day. Is it 3 a day? No, 4 a day. Anyway, if you've got aches and pains, and I do like to point out things that have got a multitude of uses, right? So if you've got little aches and pains and stuff, I don't know if you've ever used Deep Heat. Well, this is like a copy of that. I mean, it's quite small, just fits in my hand. You can get the bigger ones, but I bought the smaller ones specifically for a reason that I'll go into in a minute. I need to go off subject to come back on subject. But if anyone's used DP, it is quite effective. But again, what shit is in there? What is it? And it's going on to the biggest organ on your body that soaks stuff up. So something to bear in mind. An electronic thermometer, you basically just stick it, you just take it out. I can't do it with one hand and it's stiff. And you've got this little thing that goes in your ear. You press a button and it tells you what your body temperature is. So there's obviously a temperature that's too high when you've got a really bad fever, and then you've got too low. And it's good to be able to observe someone and then rely on maybe some of these books and some of the information that you've learned. I'm gonna put a link on, hopefully if I can find it again, a link on for free online first aid courses that you can do just online. But probably you might need to give me 10 minutes after uploading the video to find these links and then get them on there. But yeah, an electronic thermometer. If you buy them online, there have been some that have been made that just come up with there's no actual sensor in it. It's a cheap Chinese knockoff. So even though this isn't absolutely necessary, If you can afford to get one, because they are useful. They really are. But get one that's branded. Go to a chemist or, you know, somewhere like that where you know that you're getting something that actually works. It has actually got a sensor in there. Another one is a TENS machine. Now, I did go through a spell, and still do from time to time, with my back and my neck. And these are amazing, but don't whack them up on the top setting anywhere sensitive. Not that I've done that, you know. So yeah, TENS machine. But if you have it on, if you have it on a low setting and you've got each one of these pads put all over your back and you're lying there, right, in candlelight, listening to some nice music with a nice joystick burning, and you've got this on one of the lowest settings, it is proper lush. And the cheap TENS machine. Another one is a blood pressure machine. Again, this isn't obviously absolutely necessary, but if you can afford to buy one if you haven't got one already. This tells you when you're kind of like normal, a bit rough. And then up there is like, maybe go and have a word with your doctor if you're up there regularly. A lot of this equipment was bought when, because of Sal. What else we got? The obvious one, a really decent, fully stocked, fully loaded first aid kit with everything you can imagine in there. I'll open this one up at some point and show you what because I've just built on it and built on it and built on it, and then I've bought another first aid kit and built on that and built on that and built on that, and then another and then another. I remember a lot of my training, my first aid training. I'm probably at a level of wannabe St. John's Ambulance, which is better than having no knowledge at all. So yeah, try and develop some skills, guys, just in case, we are officially at war. Another one that I'm going to count. How many have I done? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Doing well. We know how many uses this stuff's got. It's off, it's brilliant. It's amazing. You can light fires with it. But one of my dogs was born with a problem with her ears, and she has hay fever. So I have to get a lot of them in as well, which are okay for dogs, by the way. That particular one. Cetirizine hydrochloride, 10 milligram, depending on the weight of your dog. But speak to your vet first. They'll give you that sort of advice over the phone for free. So yeah, good. Not only just for burning stuff, blah blah blah, but for sorting, keeping Storm's ears kind of, so that she's not irritated by them. I'm not saying that you should try that. I'm saying it seems to be working for my dog, but it might not work for your dog. It's a fucking minefield, this is. And I've not even finished. And then Sudocrem. I mean, this is good for babies' bums, and it's an all-round gentle kind of antiseptic soothing cream. It's good on so many things. Look up Sudocrem and all of the things that it can do. Again, I know it's pharma, but hey, it's an old school. But then all I'm saying is that it's probably not a bad idea to get it in. And get it in, you get a lot more bang for your buck if you buy the 500 milligram ones. I mean, this is for anyone that's got like any babies, like the shit hits the fan. It's going to be, I've got nappies. I haven't even got any kids, but I don't want people around me struggling. If they're struggling, it's going to make the environment more stressful. the more stressful it gets, the more difficult it is to get some sort of organisation and calmness, you know. I've got nappies for up to sort of 18 months old, so they can be cut down into 3 or 4 for a newborn. I've got tampons for the heaviest. It's better to have something that's going to do the job than not quite do the job. I've got sanitary towels, all this for people, ready for people that I probably don't even know. Anyway, right, moving on to 2 more. So I think that might take it up to 11. Are you ready for this? Now, I said to you guys that I don't think that we'd ever go nuclear, but I do think, and I stand by that. I don't believe that we're going to have a nuclear war. You know, the total annihilation of the planet. I don't think it will ever come to that, right? But the whole shock and awe aspect of war, and you know, the Twin Towers is a great example. I don't think there was a single person across the planet whose jaw wasn't on the floor. So the possibility of a tactical nuke going off somewhere, it is a possibility. And then if you've got certain prevailing winds, it's good to be prepared. And this is specifically for that. So look up the make, what it is, and the milligram. And you do not take them unless you absolutely need to. Okay? Otherwise they can do you some damage. So that's that out of the way. This was a tricky one for me. So you know, the video that I did in my caravan, and I was a bit chesty. I mean, I felt like shit before I went out there, and I still felt like shit there. It was a cold that lasted for about 5 weeks. You know, that's never happened, and it eventually turned into a chest infection. So when I was talking about hoarding medication, you wouldn't believe the types of medication I've got, but I can't tell you. I just can't tell you. But I've got something for almost everything. So yeah, anyway, one of the most difficult medications to stockpile, you know, like I did the video about the fats being one of the most difficult foodstuffs to stockpile. Well, antibiotics are very difficult to get hold of. So if you've got respiratory problems, I mean, right, so this is this is a handheld, oh my God, what's it called? I've fallen at the last leg. A face thing. It'll come to me. And then there's one that's the adult size, and it comes with a child size face mask as well. And you just put your liquid in there. And so there's this stuff. Now, some of you will know about this already, but I can guarantee statistically that most of you won't realise or know that hydrogen peroxide, food grade, can be inhaled. You bastard. By the way, did you know that PRM medication stands for Pro Re Nata, which is a non-scheduled medication. Pro Re Nata, over-the-counter meds. So this stuff, I've got it in nebulizer. You bastard. Now, this is a rechargeable one, and this is me, right? This is where I've got to be careful. This is what it did for me. It might not do it for you, but it did it for me. It lifted all the shit off my chest and gave me loads more energy, because it does something to do with it changes to oxygen. It activates oxygen. Oh my God, there's just so much information. There's far too much for me to write it down on little post-it notes and retain it in my head. Please do your own research on this stuff. When I found out about it, I made a big solution out of it and put it in a jar. It says I'd use either distilled water, which you can buy if you've not got a distiller, or saline water. Now you can buy saline tubes, same thing, or you can make your own saline. There's loads of videos on YouTube on how to make your own saline. So add saline water to it, dilute it right down. Antibacterial. And then I've got this little dropper to drop it into, yeah, anyway. So, yeah, I've written it down. Antibacterial, antiviral, antifungal, antimicrobial. Incredible for your sinuses. For me, that is. Yeah, it might be different for you. I'm not medically trained. All of this is just for entertainment. Jesus Christ. Removal of earwax. It can help with COPD, asthma, colds, the flu, chest infections. For me, that's what it's helped me with. Not you. It might be different for you. And it's also a water purification tool. In fact, what I've just mentioned then is just literally the tip of the iceberg. Make sure it's food grade and do your own research. You're going to see lots of videos from all of the useful suspects, CNN, CNBC, the BBC, all of the new online newspapers that are bought and paid for. They're going to say that don't use it for COVID. They said that about ivermectin. They said that about so many other medications, you know, that it was horse paste and this shit and that shit. But then just keep digging, and you'll be amazed at the information you're going to find out about that if you don't know already. Okay? So, yeah, I mean, I did make this up, but I'm not 100% sure that it's right. So I don't want to tell you. This is why I'm saying, do your own research. Just do your own research. It helped me. You know. And but you're better off. But they also say use it right at the start of the symptoms, as opposed to letting it get to a chest infection. But yeah, anyway, that's pretty much it. I think I've done all right. We're on nearly 25 minutes. One of the longest videos I've done in a very, very long time. So I hope you're all well. Have a wicked weekend. Much love. Ciao for now.